Welcome to the Dalen Show. People, hope all is well with you guys. And as always, thank you for your love and support over the past couple of weeks, man. And like I said, I've been enjoying what I've been doing to a great expense over the last couple of weeks. Man, it's just been really fun getting to talk to the last three people, man. They've been really extraordinary. The stories have been extraordinary, man. And it's just, expressing my love for what I do. And I love that I get the support from the people that are trying to help me pursue my career. So thank you guys for that, man. Without further ado, man, let's introduce our guest this week, man. Someone that I am very fond of, Miss Donnetta Johnson. Woohoo! Um,
Thanks, Dalen.
First, I want to ask you, how are you doing right now? How's life treating you right now? Just how's everything going with you right now?
Yeah, everything's good. I mean, I'm down in Atlanta. I'm getting into the film industry, more of the industry. Um, and I'm really just immersing myself in the city and getting out. I told myself this month I'm gonna start for the month of December. I'm gonna start getting out more and
Hmm.
networking because naturally I'm an introvert, and I just want to be around people who just like know me already, right? But um, I've been pushing myself, getting out and talking with people, networking. I've been on set, networking there, and just making those connections. Honestly, just going after what I really want to do. It's been a journey, to say the least, in the past 6 months.
Um, if you guys don't know what you should know, I go to Ole Miss, and it's my freshman year, and I say this because I'm just a big fan of Donnetta, and I always have been, and I know her career path and what she's gone through. So this is very. I was talking, writing my notes down earlier, and I was just like, man, we're doing good things with the show, man. When we get to points like this, I just feel like I'm doing good things in life. So, um, again, that's support from you guys as well. So thank you again for that. Donetta, if you don't mind giving the viewers, I like for them to get comfortable with who they're listening and watching. So if you don't mind giving them a brief overview about yourself, like where you're from, and just some things you've been able to accomplish to help you get where you are today.
Yeah, so I'm from New York City. I grew up playing basketball my entire life. I grew up playing a bunch of different sports, but basketball is where I really was gifted at. I had the opportunity to get a scholarship to play Division One. I started off at the University of Georgia. Then I transferred after my freshman year to Ole Miss, where I'm very known at, and I just had the opportunity just to connect with so many people. I gained so much experience, so much like life stuff, um, that's helped me prepare to be where I am today. I honestly, and I majored in journalism, so everyone in the school of journalism, like I literally am like super fond of. Like I love the whole atmosphere. I love how they really help you from an academic standpoint. And then on the athletic side, like I just had great like people around me, like great people in the athletic field, and I just had honestly the support that I needed to get to where I am today. I wouldn't have. I don't think if I didn't go through like the injuries and stuff, I wouldn't have stopped playing basketball and pursue what it is that I'm also gifted at, which is being in the entertainment industry and just being a creative all around. So um, God definitely has a plan for your life, I'm grateful to have met the people and have the impact that I have in those little short years at Ole Miss.
Um, Netta, Queens, New York. What was that like growing up? What was New York like for you? And what,
Yeah,
what what were some of the things you learned that you maybe even still use today back in New York?
I mean, it don't get no rougher than New York. I mean,
Hmm.
everywhere tough, but New York, they call that literally like if you're from New York, you're built tough, right? So being from New York is an honor. Like I've always said that I'm honored to be from New York, and when I tell people I'm from New York, they're like, "Oh, I love it." And they're like, "I'm like, yeah, you know the touristy part of New York, but where I grew up, it wasn't the best. I didn't have as much resources that I did, but I did have people around me who helped curate those resources for me. So I had to get out of my town a bit, a lot actually, to get to where I am and to have those opportunities. but I'm always proud of where I come from. It's made me into who I am. If I haven't went through what I went through when I was younger, and all the struggles and stuff, I wouldn't be as resilient as I am today. So I am grateful, and there's so much strength in being from New York, especially.
One of the things that I advocate so much is family and being surrounded by loved ones, even if they're not blood. Uh, Talk about who you grew up around, the people that you kept close, and the people that you relied on to lean your head on when you needed a shoulder to get to put it on. Who were the people that were important for you and still are?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I was just talking about this the other day with I forget who I was talking with it about. Can't think right now, but I was just saying how like God literally places people in your life, in the seasons of your life that you need them, and either it's for you to help, it's for them to help you get to where you're trying to go in that next level where you're trying to go, and some people are long term, some people are in your life support you throughout the whole journey, throughout the good, throughout the bad. So I've learned to accept everyone and welcome people who are in my currently in my circle and who've been in my circle for the years. But just growing up, man, I just had great coaches just help push me out of my environment and get out and to seek more, to be more for myself. So that's kind of what I grew up as. I've grown up as being pushed and being uncomfortable. So it definitely paid off in my older years now.
Hmm.
But I mean, growing up, it was just tough. I mean, I had a lot of people come in and out of my life, but I was fortunate to have coaches who help propel my goals forward. My cousin Alvin, he's been there like throughout the whole journey. And then I've gained people along the way, and I have like my uncles and stuff like that. They've helped me. My mom, she's been there throughout the whole thing. It's really good to have that support system, um, and then gain people along the way, right? Like I have mentors. Shawnee, like that's literally my second mother. Like we talk every day. That's my mom, right? I mean, my family loves her. She comes around all the time, and then I have Scenarios, another mentor of mine, and then I have a professor at Ole Miss who's another mentor of mine. I just have it's just different people came in different seasons of my life, and they've just been there. They've just been throughout the journey. They understand. They've also been through struggles similar to mine. Uh, and it's easier to connect with people like that, and it's easier to connect with real people and have that bond, and that's something that you want to cherish. Honestly, I truly appreciate people who are vulnerable with me. I appreciate people who are themselves and they don't try to be anybody else, right? um and I don't take for granted the impact that I have and everyone who is connected with me um lives. Honestly, I never take it for granted. So that's just a nutshell. I mean, I can go on and list everyone who's helped me and who's been there along the way. But that was just a small glimpse of my circle, and my brother has been there, my sister, like my nieces. Like it's just the list goes on. But my support system, I'm truly grateful for them, and I'm truly thankful for them. Like I wouldn't honestly be who I am today if it wasn't for them.
My mother is watching this right now at whatever point this comes out, and she's like, "You sound like my son." And I say that because I say that so much because my circle is very small, but
Mm-hmm.
man, I couldn't have done the things I've done in life without my mom and my folks. A lot of
Right.
teachers, my mentor, man, and so to
Everyone.
hear you say that, it's really astonishing to that other people are understanding of that too, man. You can't do this alone, and whatever you're trying to do, man, and it's always good to have some people on your side.
And it's definitely interesting to have, like, I mean, I honestly couldn't name every single person who's
Hmm.
been there the way. That was just a few people off the top of my head because I probably been more recently in contact with them. But like literally everyone, no matter how small, no matter how big, they've impacted my life. They helped me, and I never take that for granted. Like they helped me be who I am today, and it really is a blessing, honestly.
I love that response so much. You talked about you grew up playing basketball, but as well as other sports. What did you play growing up, and at what point did you realize that basketball was a sport that you wanted to continue playing?
I mean, I've always been an athlete. I've always been hang with the boys. Like I have
Mm-hmm.
other like his friends. Like I've always hang with the guys. Like of course I had like female friends, my teammates and stuff who become best friends and stuff like that. But I've always just like been an athlete. Like I've always loved working out. I started playing basketball when I was 3. And then when I got to high school is when I branched out to other sports because I went to prep school and I had to play 3 sports. So I was like, okay, I might as well try something else. But I did play soccer and softball. So those were some other sports that I played. Um, I'm trying to think. I mean, I literally like I played football for a little bit. I didn't like the tackle of anything like flag football or anything. I didn't like any of that, so I didn't really understand it either. So I just yeah, I mean, I was really good at basketball, so that's what I stuck with, and basketball took up all of my time, so I really had no time for anything else, honestly.
When did offers start coming in, and when offers and coaches started reaching out to you, what was it specifically that you looked for in terms of a program that you wanted to call home?
Yeah, so I was highly recruited since I was in middle school. So since I could remember, I started playing AAU basketball. I've been recruited since then, and um, I've had a few offers. Like I honestly can't remember my first offer. Just everything, a lot has happened, and it honestly been a lot. But I do remember um, the University of Georgia coach at the time, Chelsea knew, and she had been recruiting me since the 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember when they first offered me, but at the time, Joni was the head coach at University of Georgia, and she had been recruiting me for a long time, and we just built a relationship and built a connection. And then over time, it's gotten stronger. And then as time went on, I started getting more offers from different schools and started going on visits and stuff like that. But really, what I was looking for in terms of choosing the college that I wanted to go to um, was a because I'm the type of person like I need some type of structure or
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it my way, right? So I learned a lot after my freshman year after going to University of Georgia. So like I don't regret that at all. I don't regret transferring. Like the people there, I love them still to this day. And it was a learning curve going from high school to college because like I said, I'm the type of person that needs some structure, right? Like I'm gonna just do it. I'm always gonna do what I want to do. So when I got to Georgia, it was a lot of structure. So I didn't really like it. So sometimes I was rebellious against it. But as I got older and as I realized, I was like, yeah, honestly, like I see what they're talking about. Like I see what they mean. Like I see how this helped me. So it really helped shape um, my career moving forward and what in terms of what I was looking for when I was transferring. So when I was transferring, I was just honestly looking for someone who could just help me just be like just not someone just a program that can help me be the best version of myself, like as Donnetta Johnson, not as a student athlete at Ole Miss, right? So I was just looking for a program that's going to help me do that away from home, being away from family and being away from a lot of stuff. So when I was looking at the parameters of who I wanted to be and transferring and what I wanted my brand to be like and who I wanted to become. That's really what I took into account because I say this from the bottom of my heart. Like I'm grateful and I never regret any step that I took in life, any transfer, any mistake. I never regret anything because I wouldn't be who I am today. And for those people, and it's kind of like one of those old sayings like when your mom says, "Oh, you'll find out when you get older, or you'll find
Hmm.
out when you." It's kind of like that, but yeah, you start to find out, you start to figure yourself out, and you start to realize, like, okay, like I understand what they were talking about. Like, it really was from a genuine intent. So,
Can I ask, was it transition because you lived in New York and then you made a move all the way down to the South? Was that transition hard for you?
I don't think so. I don't think I've never had a problem adjusting. I've always adjusted pretty well. um fairly well, honestly. Like I've never had a problem with adjusting. I went to prep school right out of middle school, right into high school. So I was away from home. So I've never was scared from being away from home or got homesick or anything like that. After that, I was just looking for new opportunities, looking to just seek more and be more outside of my city. Although New York is still a lot, I was just looking to be more and seek more for myself. But I really didn't get homesick, honestly. Like it wasn't a terrible transition. Now going from UGA to Ole Miss, now that was a transition because it was nothing there. Like you have to drive an hour for everything. Just basic necessity, basic like living things is what which was a learning curve for me. But I seem to adjust pretty well and figure out how I can make this work and figure out how I can make this work for me.
Um, I always, when I interview someone, I try to target uh, certain people that I want to watch and listen as well. Do you mind giving a piece of advice to young girls, high school, college, doesn't matter, that are trying to fulfill shoes like yours? They want to play Division I basketball. They want to play pro basketball at some level. What advice would you give to them in terms of helping them prepare for their game and what they need to be preparing for the next level?
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's a good question. Um, I would say honestly, just do the work and enjoy the process. I think I'm in a point in my life where I just need to enjoy the process, and it's always going to be a journey. I've just thought that, I don't know, I just had always thought this weird thought that if I get through this, then I'll be good. But no, like you really have to enjoy the process. You really have to enjoy the journey of it all. And like even the transition of everything, like embrace it. Like just figure out how you can be the best self, be your best self in those moments, and always be present. There's a lot going on in this world, so and there's a lot of comparison and stuff on social media and stuff. But honestly, like just focus on your dreams, focus on what you have to do. I mean, focus on your dreams, focus on what you're trying to accomplish, and then figure out a plan on how you want to close that gap. So, like, there are little steps you have to take to close that gap. And it doesn't mean once you get to where you're trying to go that you just let off the gas pedal. No, you have to keep going. You have to keep figuring out those plans and keep figuring it out. So, that's just a message in life. You just have to, you're always going to have to keep figuring it out, um, and make a plan for uh, where you're trying to go and where you're at right now, and figure out what steps you're gonna take to get there. But just do the work and enjoy the process. That's all I got.
When you arrived at Georgia, Um, were there any major differences that you had to pick up about the game and maybe how they different high school is from college? Like, were there any differences that you had to pick up?
Yes, I had to learn how to play defense. I've
Mm.
always been an offense player. I've always been tall, so I've always not had to do much on the defensive end. Just coming out of high school. But I would say defense is like if you can't play defense, you can't play at the highest level, right?
Hmm.
Mm. So that was a big learning curve for me and a big adjustment because I just hated playing defense. But and then I turned into loving it, and I turned to being one of the best defenders on my team. So I was like, okay, well maybe this can work. So at that point, like I go back to just embracing where you are and embracing your position. Like things can turn around, things can work in your favor.
Were there things that you learned? about yourself as well outside of basketball in a new environment on your own now? Were there some things that you learned that, wow, this is a new world for me that I really have to pick up my game on?
Yes, I would say playing within the offense. And you really have to realize, you really have to figure out what, like, really deep dive into what type of player you are, and do deep research on um the program that you're looking to go to, and how they play, like their playing styles and things like that. So I think you really have to figure out, or really, well, not figure out, but really come to a conclusion of who you are as a player, um, and how can you fit into the coach's program, right? So because not too many coaches I know gonna change their whole program just to fit your playing style. So it's really up to you. The ball is in your court. You have to figure out how you play and figure out if you can fit in this program and fit in this system.
You became a solid player, Georgia. You played solid minutes. When did the thought of you transferring become in your mind?
Um, it was a lot of, I want to say it was a lot of it was a lot of me and growing up that I had to do.
Hmm.
Like I said, like I got in, like I needed structure. I've always been like, I'm gonna do this. Like, no, I want it to be like this for me. But it was a lot of me to do it. It had a lot of me in it. And I just had to grow through it, and I had to figure out how to make it work. So when I just was like, okay, I'm gonna transfer, it wasn't because of like I love the people there. It was more so of me, like I was being like, no, I should be doing this, no, I should be doing that, rather than enjoying and embracing the process of everything.
Was the transferring process difficult? Because I know, again, it's like another recruiting process for you that you're still looking at different schools, but also knowing that you're gonna have to sit out the next year. Was that a difficult thought process as well?
Um, I really didn't think on it too much. I was really just trying to figure out, okay, how can I grow from this circumstance or this situation that I'm in? So that year really helped me, just sitting out and seeing how things go on in
Hmm.
program and what I should do. So it was my observation year, and it helped me for my next year, because my next year was like a breakout year for me. But it really helped me grow, like outside of basketball, and really figure out who I wanted to be, and like what I saw my life as at Ole Miss.
Why has Ole Miss become your choice? Why did Coach Yo and her staff persuade you like any other school?
I mean, I like how it goes back to the playing styles. Like, you really have to figure out who you are. And Ole Miss was in an open floor type of system. You have to defend. So I learned to get better at that within that year as well. But I was able to play my game and play how I envision how I've always been playing since I was younger. And then just the culture, like just being around people who genuinely support you, genuinely want to see you win. Um, is you can't beat that, honestly.
Coach Yo's one of my favorite people. Always
Yeah,
energetic and positive, but can always be stern like your mom is when she needs to be as well. Um,
definitely got it to the T.
what what was it like playing under her? What was it like learning from her and depicting her mind and also how different was she from maybe your coaches at Georgia or your coaches in high school? What was the difference between Coach Yo and some of your former coaches?
Yeah, Coach Yo's just like you said, like she's as positive as she can be, and she gets in you, but she know that it's from a place of love, because
Hmm.
she establishes that relationship before she's like, okay, no, 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 like getting on you, and you see it on TV, and everybody's like, eh, but she really does love her players and care for them, and she really put them in positions if she have the ability to excel and to do what she can, to do her part, basically. But she's been a help in my life, honestly. she's a mentor and a role model for not just her girls, but just everyone around in the country. Just because her energy, like people feed off of energy, people feed off of um, the realness of people. So uh, I think she's a great role model. I love what she's doing with the program. She just got to keep going. I mean, it's not really much, like you can see it. Like there's not really much to say about it. Like it's black and white. You see her. Who you see on TV is her.
Yeah.
They her. So
I would love for you to talk about the journalism school at Ole Miss. That's kind of how we kind of got into conversation, and you talked about earlier how fond you are of them and how much help they were to you and your professors as well, man. What was being a journalism student like here, and why was it so important for you to make sure that you were the best student that you were?
right. Yeah, I initially when I got to Ole Miss, I was majoring. When I left Georgia, I was majoring in theater. So I was taking theater classes, theater and film and classes in at Ole Miss, and then I got to a point where I got to two classes, I think, in one semester, where I wasn't able to meet the time commitments for the class because of basketball, and everything just conflicted. At that point, I was prompted to change my major, so then I had to go to something that was still creative in the field that I wanted to go. So I didn't honestly, I never thought of being a journalism major, but when I got into the major, when I got into the act and the classes of it, I still minored in theater, still took some theater classes just because I've been taking so many classes and doing so much of that all of my college years. But when I got into the program, the journalism program, I was like, am I going to be a news anchor or something? And at the time, I was like, yeah, I can do this. Like, I can be this. But there's certain emphases. There's certain emphasis in the journalism program, and I was a part of the visual arts emphasis. So it really pushed me towards more of the film and the videography of journalism. So journalism really isn't just news anchor program. Are you going to be a TV broadcaster? Are you going to be a speaker or something like that? There's different ways that you can go and different sectors in the journalism program that you can go. And I took a lot of film classes, photojournalism, and things like that. So I was really pleased with the decision that I made with going in the journalism school. And I mean, the people really they really love helping you. Is really one of a kind. If I can go back to journalism school, I would go, just because even teaching there, like I know one of my professors want me to go come back and speak one time, just talking about my experience and stuff. But I always strive to be the best person that I can be. And my professors, they felt that they was appreciative of my efforts, even while being a student athlete and making sure that I get everything done that I have to get done and doing it to the best of my ability. And when I didn't do the best, they was like, yeah, that's not your best. Like you can do better. So I'm gonna let you redo this. So they hold you accountable and they support you along the way.
I know you I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but what was it like living in Oxford? Because it's so different than Athens and New York. Like what is it like here when you got here, and like what did you have to adjust to as well?
Jeez, I had to adjust to a lot. I just can't go down the street and get my hair done. I got to drive an hour, and I'm black, so I don't want it Oxford. But no, it definitely was an adjustment. It's really not much in Oxford. I went to Memphis a lot whenever we had time, just to get away, just because there's not anything there. And I'm from the city, so I enjoy being in the city and doing things, having things accessible right there, and going to get something to eat, maybe at 2 a.m. something good to eat, which in Oxford you can't do. But um, I was a homebody in Oxford. I just really relaxed, and I like being in my own space anyway. So it really wasn't that bad when I thought about it. It was just bad when I couldn't like just go get my hair done, or go get my nails done, and to the perfection that I like. So not saying nothing. Nobody in Oxford is just terrible. Although I did find some people in Oxford who was able to do my hair and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. Overall, it was a transition just in that aspect.
Um, what was your day-to-day schedule like? What time did you wake up? When did you have practices, training, lift? When were classes? Like, what was a day like for you?
Yeah, so we had schedules. Sorry, that's my dog.
You good?
We had schedules every day. So like we had our days planned out for us. So typically a normal day would be you wake up, you have either in the summertime you have weights, conditioning, or practice, or during the season you have practice in the morning. Then you have classes. Then you have study hall. Then you have practice, and if you don't have practice in the morning, then you have in the afternoon, or you have weights and conditioning in the morning before classes. Really depending on what your schedule is, what your schedule looked like. Um, and then you'll have practice, and then you'll have weights after, maybe if you didn't have it in the morning right after practice. It really varied. And then you have treatment, so you have to stay for treatment for a long period of times, uh, just to get everything that you need done and recovery wise. And then after that you get home, it's probably about 8 o'clock, and you got homework to do. Then you got to do your homework, and you're probably not going to sleep till like 10, 11, 12, 1. And you wake up and do it again 6 days out of the week. And don't let it be during the season. During the season, it's just
Mm.
hectic. It's just hectic. You really have no time.
Um, your redshirt junior year, what you are developing your game very well, and but you end up having a season-ending injury.
Yep.
Isolating yourself as well because you're injured. What's going through your mind at that time? Like, what are you thinking about now that you're not playing basketball anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I got injured twice in one season, and they weren't like I had surgery for both of them. So it was definitely tough. Um, my redshirt junior year, my senior year academically. It was definitely tough, but like I said, I had my support system, just backing me through it all and just making sure that I'm just keeping my head above waters. There was a period in time where I came back and played. I still was finding my groove and stuff. And then when I started to find my groove, then I tore my ACL, and then I was like, dang, like I guess it's really over. So I think it was a sign, God saying like I have something better in store for you. This chapter of your life is over. You did what you had to do. You met the people that you had to meet. You impacted the people that you had to impact. So I'm not grateful. I'm not regretful of choosing to retire from my career, my past career, and pursue something different, because I know that God is pleased with what I did and who I've become.
You guys had a special group last year, man. I loved the team so much last year. Your first NCAA tournament appearance in, I think, over 15 years. Um, man, what was your relationship like with your teammates, and seeing them grow and prosper as well? How much fun did you guys have last year, and just seeing so much evolve into what you guys always had wanted?
Yeah, yeah, we had it. I mean, there was a good group of girls. Like we really enjoyed each other's company. Like we really meshed well together. I think at the beginning of the season, like we were like, okay, we're good. And then when we started to get like some hype, like towards the end of the season, and we started to get talk like, oh, we're gonna be in the NCAA tournament, and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. Nobody would have thought we would have been at the end. Would have went to the end of in the SEC tournament. Um, but we just made history, and we made a promise to ourselves that we'll stick together throughout anything, because the season before that we made it to the championships in the WNIT. So that next year we came back, we was like, no, we coming for revenge, so we have to be the best that we can be, and in order to do that we have to be together. um, and they really helped me with my injuries. Like they've made sure I was a part of, and I felt like I was a part. And I would say they did a great job with that. But it was just really like when we started to like get that hype, like okay, y'all about to be in the NCAA tournament, the whole atmosphere just changed. Like everyone was just super locked in. Everyone's like, yeah, we're gonna do this. Like we're just gonna make sure. And I think that's where our bond, like it grew even tighter, because we needed everyone. We needed each other for those moments. So it was good to be a part of that. Like I'm always grateful to be a part of history. It just seems like I've always been a part of history coming up. But I was grateful, and I'm truly appreciative of everyone, and just to see what they're doing now, and how they're excelling, and it's just truly a joy to watch.
Donetta, one of my favorite passions is music, and I love depicting other people's music tastes. Who are some of your favorite artists, songs? Like, what do you listen to on a day-to-day basis? And also, pre-game, what did you listen to get you ready for a game? Because I always know athletes they have something different a little bit
Right.
before a game.
Right. I am an acquired taste. I am interested in a lot. You can I would say 80%, 70. I would say 70%. Sorry, I would say 70% of my playlist is R&B.
Hmm.
Old. So if even if you found me in a gym, you'll hear it on a speaker. Everyone knew it was me in the gym when they heard R&B playing while working out, and it's like, why you how you work out to that? Like crazy. But yeah, pregame warm ups and stuff like that. I would listen to old school R&B, gospel, just worship or R&B. I'm not really like a rap person. I like some rap, some songs, like just some songs I like. I'm like, okay, like I love this song, but I'm really like I can listen to R&B any mood to get me hyped for any mood. Like I go to the gym now and I listen to R&B.
Um, Man, your college career has wrapped up. What? And I know you've moved to Atlanta.
Mhm.
What are you pursuing now? What are you looking forward to doing in the future? What is in store for you?
I thought I knew when I was planning to come here. Like I said, I always wanted to plan and figure out how I get to where I want to get to. But I thought I knew exactly what I wanted to do. But just being in Atlanta and being around so much, um, I really don't know exactly what direction I want to go in terms of this is my career, this is what I'm doing. I know that I'm pursuing and being in the entertainment industry,
Hmm.
film being in film, modeling, and stuff like that. But I don't know exactly. It's a tough question right now because I'm still in the process and still in the journey of figuring everything out and getting my things together down here.
Um, if you could have dinner with three people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Dead or alive.
Hmm.
Uh, One is definitely Sarah Jakes Roberts. I
Okay.
just love empowerment.
Okay.
Uh, Nipsey Hussle was a cool cat.
Hmm.
Was a very interesting person, so much wisdom. I love people who's just so like have so much wisdom, so charismatic. Um, so he's definitely one of them. I would say another person would be dang, that's hard. It's a lot of people that I would want to sit down with. I would say I'm trying to choose my top three wisely because it really speaks to who I am. But um, I would. All right, I'm just gonna say my third would have to be LeBron.
Okay.
Just the way he carry himself. Like I just want to
Hmm.
figure out how it's been like just growing up, going straight to the league and stuff like that.
Every time I ask that, I get such a different answer, and I love all your answers so much. My mentor, he's from Cali. Worked with CBS LA for many years, and he was very fond and close with Nipsey Hussle. And he tries to tune in when he can, and he would love that answer. And I feel like a lot of people are becoming more comfortable with who he was as a person, man. And I love hearing that answer from someone. So I really that I love the diverse answers. I get different answers every single time, and some people I've
Well,
never heard of.
so profound too. Like they were a great couple, honestly. It's like
Yeah,
yeah, I agree.
so many people that I've learned from and looked up to. I've listened and learned from what they're saying. So I love all three of your answers for that.
Yeah.
Um, Something I love to ask before I like to wrap things up. It's two questions in one, and I know you kind of talked about a piece of advice for for basketball players, young girls trying to become basketball players. But what's a piece of advice that you would just give to people watching about life in general that you've been able to live through and things that you've learned? What's one piece of advice you would give about life in general? And what legacy do you want to leave behind? That's something that I vouch very heavily as well. When people talk about Donetta Johnson, what do you want them to remember about who you are as a person?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm super big on making sure I have a positive impact on everybody that I come in contact with, whether that's someone that I'm going on the elevator with up to work, and or just someone who's been in my life for years and years. Uh, but to answer your question, I would say never settle on the pursuit of what you're trying to get after or go after. Never settle on what you're trying to accomplish. If you think your dreams are too big, then they're obtainable. And if people think your dreams are too big, then they're more obtainable. But you shouldn't care what people think, honestly. Just focus on yourself, focus on your journey, and never compare yourself. Comparison kills. Um, but really just hone in on who you are and try to get to the depth of who you are and what impact or what value you want to leave in this world. Because I know, like, going into your second question, I would say my impact or my value that I would want to leave into this world is just to make sure that people knew that I understood and that they weren't alone in whatever that they went through, and just to be a testament of everything that I've been through and being more vulnerable and being and feeling like they can actually be themselves. They don't have to be someone else in order to get where they're going. But I just say just be relentless in the pursuit, honestly.
I can very much tell that those words are things you try to amplify in your life. That those are true and authentic words coming from you.
Really.
And I'm so grateful to get in contact with you and chat with you. I want to say thank you for continuing to reach back out to me.
Thank you.
And I say that
What you're doing, man, honestly. Like just keep going. Whatever you even like you say that you this has been like one of your milestones in your show, but this is just the bottom of where you're gonna be at. Um, you're gonna do great things. I just love how you're relentless in the pursuit. Like you're enjoying and you're embracing the journey. So just keep doing that. And I look forward to see where you go, man. I appreciate you for having me for sure.
thank you for that. Man, I talked to Moses Kingsley the other week. He's a pro basketball player. Played at Arkansas, and I'm from Arkansas. I grew up watching him play so much, and man, he literally stopped me in the middle of me talking, and he just told me, man, I'm really enjoying our conversation. And to hear that and hear you, and I had another person I interviewed maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and she just chatted me up and said, man, I want to say thank you again for for allowing me to share my story. That is what I'm doing this for, and I can't say that enough, man. Like I love to, to not only speak with people, but allow them to have a reason to share their story and a platform to share their story. So not only can they share, but other people can hear it and learn from it, and hopefully laugh and live with it as well. So thank you for saying that to me. It means so much because um, my passion is helping other people, and if I can do that, I feel like then I've done a good job in what I've wanted to do in life. So I love hearing feedback from people that I love so much and adore so much, but also have a virtual companionship with, because at the end of the day, I feel like we just all love sports and in some capacity, and I just think that's really cool to me. So I appreciate you for saying that to me. Um, if you don't mind, do you mind sharing your social media handle so people can follow you, reach out to you if they want to as well?
Yeah, my social media, my Instagram is DONN3TTAA. And then my TikTok is Don Baby DONBABYYY with six Y's.
Um, Donetta, do you
Oh,
want to get?
Twitter is it's the Don Baby with four Y's, I believe. Can't remember.
You guys know I'll drop them when we drop the episode. You'll find her. Do you want to give a shout out to anyone?
Uh, I do want to shout out the people who've been helping me with my transition from college and into the real world, who've really been there. My godfather, my second mother, Shawnee. Scenario, she's been helping me along the way. My uncle, um, and then my friends that who I met here and who's long distance and who's been in the real world already. Gabby, like I just want to make sure like people know that I do appreciate them, and
Hmm.
even though it's small gestures or a small text, um, just being there for me is it doesn't go unnoticed, and I do appreciate them. Oh, my mom too. Oh, my friends too. Yeah, I'm not gonna name all my friends, but yeah,
Again, thank you so much for joining me, and please keep in contact. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. I hope you guys enjoy. You laughed a little bit, you learned a lot as well. And continue following your dreams, as Mr. Netta said. You think it's too big, it's
yeah,
obtainable.
yeah.
God bless you all. Stay safe, stay loved. Happy holidays, y'all.
Have a good one. Happy holidays.